And Jack here for a theory of what actually happens when you die. They say that the animatronics forcefully stuff you in a bear suit. Do they, Jack?
Well, let's get ourselves killed and we can show you something that we thought.
Well, we've got the death screen up, and if you look at it, it looks like the eyes are popping out. So, why would the eyes be coming out? Because they said that the only parts of you that will see the light of day again were your teeth and your eyes, because they're the only things sticking out. So why would robotic eyes be popping out? Unless they didn't put you in there and they just did what any children would do. Because the FNAF storyline says that 5 children were killed in Freddy Fazbear's restaurant, and well, they were all put in a Fazbear suit. Like Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, Golden Freddy.
Yeah, and
Foxy.
Also, when you die, you never see more than one of the same animatronic ever in the entire game.
Yeah.
Or the entire series. That's my Chinese nan.
Okay. Well, yeah, so you hear that. Well, you see that. And now, if we look more towards the Freddy. Now, we know that natural Freddy does have that same kind of colour. But
Yeah.
sorry about that interruption. But yeah, as I was saying, this Fazbear suit looked very familiar to Golden Freddy. Now, because in Golden Freddy, if you look at the second one and the third one, he has absolutely no eyes. The first one, he has no eyes, but the colour's the same. So, are you put in the suit, or do you actually get put hidden, maybe where the kids were hidden? Because if you're a killer and you stuff them in a suit, and then they have to and then someone checks the suits, well, it would be pretty stupid.
Yeah, so
if there wasn't somewhere to hide them.
Here's my theory. So you know Golden Freddy,
Yep.
He has no eyes, guys. And in this picture, this guy has just lost his eyes. And so you know how you only ever see Golden Freddy? He's kind of a myth almost in the game, like an Easter egg. And he doesn't often pop up, but he comes up as a kind of a hologram almost. He just teleports to you. So here's my theory. You are Golden Freddy from the previous games when you were killed. That is you, Golden Freddy. Now, it sounds a bit weird, but let me just tell you this. Golden Freddy could be some sort of world traveller. Because have you heard of the theory of the many worlds? Well, there could be a world where you died in that place, in that pizzeria. And when you continue to the next area, the next game, a version of you that died comes to you and sees you. This might be why you don't die when you see Golden Freddy.
Also, to add on to that theory, now, we know in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, we play as the crying child, who we all know gets his frontal lobe crushed practically and ripped out. And he has to be he has to be sped up to the hospital for emergency care. Now, in the fourth one, all you see are literally hallucinations of a child who's had the frontal lobe ripped out and seen terrible things in the pizzeria.
Which, just to tell you, is not realistic in real life. AKA go to Game Theory and watch 100 episodes. But anyway, you probably didn't hear that. Watch Game Theory. Anyway, sorry, Miles. Anyway.
Do you mind?
Shut up. Anyway, so yeah, that was my idea. But another thing is, you know those 3 little Golden Fredbears? Those could be the messengers of you who died, and this child could be someone like your son or a relative. And that's why, you make a noise when you get on there, maybe to warn him or something. But in the games, when Golden Freddy comes, I don't know if this is just me, but when I had him come to me, after that, I got killed by another animatronic. So it could be a warning that when he comes, you need to close the door or check around the cameras.
Also, Golden Freddy in the first one is an actual Easter egg. Then when you get the second one,
he becomes
more of an actual character. Then the third one, you realise Scott Cawthon didn't put him in as like a stupid Easter egg for his game.
It was
He put it in
supposed
for
to
reason.
be there. Yeah.
And my reason is that Golden Freddy. Jack's reason is Golden Freddy is you going past and past and past all over again. Now we know that number 1 must have been the latest one, and number 4 is the earliest one. Now if we go to Sister Location, we can't see Golden Freddy. But common sense, you're underground at a secret location. But then who are you in Sister Location? It might add on to who Golden Freddy is.
Watch Game Theory for a lot of information that could help. But I have a theory that Sister Location could be the first game in the series if you put them in order. Because you die, who do you actually become? Because you've seen all the other animatronics, but who the hell do you become when you're killed in the game?
True.
Which could be, if this is the past, you could be Golden Freddy in that game, or when you die.
Also, if we notice from the custom nights you can get in Sister Location, there's a story being told.
Yeah.
About Purple Guy going there, killing a few people, coming out laughing happily. He dies. Somehow he comes back to life, then he walks on. Now, that was, I believe, the first, maybe second, if you do it in very, very hard mode. And, well, another one is that also in the end you hear that in Sister Location you're not actually, if you actually live and go through all the custom nights, so you do the secret ending. I'm not going to tell you anything about it other than you live, other than being scooped, which I think is the most disgusting thing ever. But you get told that the animatronics think you were, well, it says father. The animatronics thought I was you. Now, they also mention about it was there, right where you said it was. Now, that's just weird. Like, what's there? Because no one knows what's actually there. Okay. Also, father. We know father. Also,
yeah,
the voice at the beginning.
Father. So here's another theory. You created the animatronics and you died, and someone hid it in a pizzeria to cover the evidence, possibly a son of yours that had been, which explains FNAF 4, not Sister Location. I'm talking about the kid who has his frontal lobe ripped out. That could be your son, if you are the guy who becomes Golden Freddy. And that is why you sent mini Fredbears to warn him about things like this, to warn him that the animatronics were coming, to warn him that this was all a dream. And it kind of connects, doesn't it?
Now also, we hear a voice in the beginning of Sister Location, and then later on we hear that it's William Afton, who is also formerly known as the Purple Guy. So if we're playing as Purple Guy's son in Sister Location, why is it that when we get scooped, there's no animatronic apart from Ballora that can fit the eyes? Now, all the other animatronics got different colours eyes, yeah? Freddy can't fit it. Bonnie's too small. Enard, which I think is most likely to fit it, apart from Enard's got blue eyes, and obviously is possessed by a little girl. Now, I'm pretty sure a little girl would not go into a suit that terrifying.
Or even the golden suit.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ballora,
yeah,
who can't see, maybe she went into that Golden Freddy suit instead of you. It might have been that Ballora, instead of you going in it, you went into Ballora. So another theory is that maybe Ballora went into the Golden Freddy suit. But
or Ballora went inside your skin. You find out that you get scooped, yeah?
Yeah.
And it goes black. Then you get a little cutscene of you going past. Then you go into the mirror and then you've got purple glowing eyes. Now, Ballora the only one who fits that. Or, you've got the possibility that when you got scooped, that something that you didn't actually get scooped. Or, that Ballora climbed in. But I think that you didn't actually get scooped. Because if we're playing as William Afton's son, then there's a possibility that William Afton's son could have glowing purple eyes. We never know, because we don't actually see the face of any character in the Five Nights at Freddy's. See, all we're given with is a room with a desk, doors. Sometimes they can close, sometimes they don't, like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 3, and number 4. No, number 4, you can close doors, but you've got to run. But we never actually get to see the actual face of your character. So it could be that you didn't get spooked. It was a bad dream you had on the job, yeah? Or whatever you were looking for, you found, and maybe that which climbed into you, but your spirit went into it.
Okay, and here's my own theory. So you know Golden Freddy in the first game.
And second game and third game and fourth game.
Yeah, so you know in the 5th game, you know how I said this could be the first one? Well, like Miles just said, it could just be a bad dream. So, you know, Golden Freddy, that is the guy who created all these animatronics or something. So, you know, you're guarding them, but you're just hallucinating about the Golden Freddy. But then in the art games afterwards, it becomes a reality because possibly the guy in this location became Golden Freddy. But the first one was just hallucination or possibly a telepathic, telly. Now this is a long stretch, and props to Scott to making this game extremely hard to read. And making everyone buy his books to get any information that is plausible and important. Scott, you are a clever man. And also, Game Theory, props to you because you are amazing for figuring quite a lot of stuff out that I believe in. Miles here has no idea who you are.
I do know who you are.
Okay, never mind. Scott,
I also know
he knows who you are. But anyway, we're probably going to end this episode now because it's been a lot.
I've got one more thing to say.
Alright, this crazy weirdo's got
no Golden Freddy.
Nice.
Now, if he was actually in the pizzerias, the staff would moan. Now, we know that Golden Freddy's usually found in the kitchen because the camera's disabled and you can't see Golden Freddy anywhere else in the pizzeria. Now, if the Golden Freddy was in the pizzeria, the staff who actually cooks... Yeah, it could. But the staff who actually cooked the meals are either not scared of him or...
He is the person who cooks it.
Yeah, or they decide that they'll just live with it. I mean, it's an inanimate suit until night time rises, which is obviously when the spirit wakes up.
Unless there is no spirit in it. If it is there. Is that another part of your theory?
Yeah.
'Cause another thing is, if they were fine with it, I'd be creeped out. I wouldn't go to the kitchen. So maybe they know for a fact it doesn't come at night, and that it's just nothing's in it, no spirit is in it, and that it is just a hallucination to the people who work there. Because of the frights they've gotten from the ones who are alive, they're like, oh my god, Golden Freddy's.
Or if you actually think about it, now, you wouldn't just leave one person in charge of everything. So I'm thinking that there's someone else there who's making your night a living horror. Instead of possessed spirits, just living horror of sabotage.
So, here's a quick thing before we end this episode.
Yep.
Quick thing, you know the guy who calls you? I have a feeling that he might be the guy giving you living hell. I mean, yes, he gives you hints about what to do, but how does he know this stuff?
Also, we find out later that apparently he dies in night 4. Now, me and Jack haven't got up that far, seeing as Jack died on night 3. But, if you listen to his phone calls, he's practically building it up.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll leave in the cliffhanger here, and we'll see you in the next episode, which is probably going to be a long time. Yes, we know this was a lengthy episode, especially for this channel.
Yep.
But we'll just end it here.
Yeah.
Alright,
So see you
guys
in the next
later.
video.